Right, we're going to crack straight on with the action. We're going to talk about Wednesday at York. The Juddmonte International looks an absolute cracker. Barney Roy and Ulysses renew their Eclipse rivalry. We've got Churchill in there. We've got Shutter Speed. We've got Cliffs of Moher. Binners, hello. Welcome back. And can we get some prices on this Juddmonte International, please?
Hello, Maddie. What a race. 5-2 Barney Roy, 11-4 the Dual Guineas hero Churchill, 3 Ulysses, 6 Cliffs of Moher, 8 Shutter Speed, and it's 16 bar.
Fantastic. Absolutely love that. Mark, we'll go to you first. What do you reckon?
Yeah, it's brilliant, isn't it? When I was on here in March and I was talking about this as being one of the races of the summer. Back then I was thinking in terms of minding Almanzor, Jacobs, those sorts of horses, and we've got none of them, and we've still somehow managed to find our way to having an absolutely fantastic renewal of the race. I think Barney Roy is probably the right favourite. He probably will be suited by the track, I think, and looks to be he's progressed so well so far this year, and there's no reason to think the second half of the year is not going to be more of the same. But Binners, did you say 6 Cliffs of Moher there? Was that right?
6 Cliffs of Moher, Mark.
I'm struck by that because he sent off 7-4 favourites at Sandown for the Coral Eclipse, and I don't think anybody would say that things panned out in a way that he was able to show his best that day.
Definitely,
so why now should he be such a that was Barney Roy was in there, Ulysses was in there, and he was 7-4 favourites at Sandown. So I'm not really seeing what the difference is and why he should be as big as 6-1 there. So
funny you say that, because I actually said that similar to Tom before we went on air about Cliffs of Moher and how you're totally right. I mean, there was all that interference. It was quite a slow pace. It was a messy race. Yes, Barney Roy impressed, but I said maybe this race is more open than we're giving it credit for.
Yeah.
Tom, is it Barney Roy all the way for you? Simple as? Are you going to ignore me and Mark?
I'll probably ignore you and Mark, Maddie, as always. Yeah, but no, it's not. It's a brilliant race, isn't it? As you quite rightly right. I don't think it's Barney Roy all the way by any means. I don't fancy Cliffs of Moher myself. I personally thought, I don't know, I just didn't really like him at Epsom or at Sandown, really. I don't like horses that do things wrong, and he seems to do quite a bit wrong, or he seems to have had things go against him. Now, maybe that's
do you think he finds trouble and he can't overcome it?
No, I don't know that, but it's just, if he's a wonder horses tend to, if really good horses, and it'll take a really good horse to win this race, tend to find their way out of trouble. He times to find his way into it. Now, I get that's why he's 6-1. I get the argument for him being value in terms of price. In terms of being a brilliant horse, I don't think he is. I think the 3 at the top of the market are better than him. Churchill, Barney Roy and Ulysses. Problem is, so do the bookmakers, and they're all about the same price. I think it's 2-1, 9-4, and 3-1, or something, as Paul just said. 2-1, 11-4, 3, whatever Paul just said. They're all about the same price. I don't know which one's going to win. If I had to have a bet, or if I'm sitting here saying which one do I prefer, it's Barney Roy. But I'm a massive Ulysses fan, and Churchill was the second coming at the start of the season. If you take Ascot out, he'd be odds-on favourite for this.
I love Barney Roy because I just think he pulled so hard in that Eclipse, and the amount he managed to find. And
do you think
improve.
That might be the problem, Maddie? Do you think? I mean, where's the pace here? We've got 7 runners. Decorated Night, I suppose, will go on a bit. I should be asking you this. Yeah, it's a good point. There's no pace whatsoever here. I'm staggered they haven't put a pacemaker in for Barney Roy. I think he's crying out for a strongly run race where he can get. I don't think any race so far he's got into top gear. In the Guineas, in the Newbury race at the start of the season, in the St James's Palace, and at Sandown, all he was doing was he seemed to just be getting going at the end of all his races. So if they go slow here at York, which is a notoriously hard track to make up ground on fast ground, if it's soft ground, it's a different kettle of fish, but on fast ground, and at the moment, I think it's good to firmish. I think it'll be hard for him if they go slow.
Maybe Cliffs of Moher will go on. If you're taking Churchill as their number 1.
Maybe, but O'Brien's, the Ballydoyle pacemaking thing is a law unto itself, as far as I can see. Sometimes they go fast when you expect them to go slow, and sometimes they go slow when they expect them to go fast. I don't know what they're going to do, and I don't think anyone does, but it's possible. It's very possible.
It is possible. I'm going to drop in a Twitter question now from Nick Palfrey. I absolutely love this. I'm going to aim it mostly at Mark, because I know he's been out to Oz. Where would Winx finish in the Juddmonte International? Obviously, she was breathtaking the other day, only managing just to get up on the line. That was over 7, I think, but she's run over such a variety of trips. Where would she factor in this, do you reckon?
I'm going to make people angry one way or another, because there's people that think she just beats up on Hartnell and aren't impressed by that, but then there's people that have actually seen her, as I have, in the flesh, and you can't fail to be impressed by her. I think she would be right there at the business end, and I would probably bet her in the race. Obviously depends on what the prices are, but I think she'd be right at the top end of the market, and I think she could definitely win a race like this. I don't see why she couldn't. She's got the class.
I would love to see her over here. I think they shelved Royal Ascot for this year, and they were always quite negative on it. But maybe next year.
Yeah, the talk is next year. They want to. There's only one horse that's ever won the Cox Plate 3 times, Kingston Town. So they want to go and get that, and they should really, as long as she stays sound. There's no, at the moment there doesn't seem to be anything that's going to be able to beat her at Moonee Valley. I just worry that if they achieve that, they might just sort of think that'll
job
do.
is done. Yeah.
Yeah. But I hope they don't. I hope they do maybe go to Hong Kong and then come through to here. It would be fantastic, and there's no reason she wouldn't be running in a race like this if Royal Ascot went well. We saw Criterion came a few years ago, ran at Royal Ascot and ran in this race, didn't make an impression in either, but she is a hell of a lot better than Criterion.
Yeah, okay, well, that's about it for the Judgmont International. We'll move on to the Betway Great Voltigeur now. Obviously, well-known St Leger trial. We've got Cracksman in there who, in all likelihood, this is going to be his last run of the season. Might not be, and then he's going to be put away. Mirage Dancer, Venice Beach, we've got in there as well. Binners, how do we bet? Cracksman warm enough?
Yes, even money favourite. Paddy has an extremely generous money back special in this race, considering his evens. It's money back if your horse is second, third or fourth to the SP favourite as a free bet. And then we go 5 Mirage Dancer, 6 Venice Beach, 10 Khalidi and Douglas MacArthur, and 12 to 1 Bar.
Okay, thank you very much. Me and Tom were chatting beforehand. I said I can't believe the price of Khalidi. I really like him. Tom, what do you reckon?
I think Cracksman has the best form, but he's just a funny horse, isn't he? He's a Frankel that takes ages to get going. I think quite a few of them prefer softer ground. If it rained, I think that would help him. Look, he's got the best form and he's getting better. Every single run's been a progressive run. He probably should have won the Irish Derby. He was a bit unlucky there. He's got the best form. Mirage Dancer hasn't. Simple as that. He ran okay at Ascot, but he's stepping up in trip. He seemed to be comfortably beaten to me by Ben Battle and Order of the Garter that day. I didn't see any excuses at all for him. I think he's got to step on it. Venice Beach is a good horse and a strong stayer. I think they'll set the race. So this is a race I do think they'll go fast in, because I think they'll want to set it up for Venice Beach and Spanish Steps, and they've got the Douglas MacArthur card to play from the front, you see, so they could, this is a race they will dictate. They've got 3 of the 7 runners. Count Octave's quite an interesting horse. He was second to Stradivarius in the Queen's Vase, and he travelled through the race, I thought, like the best horse. Just maybe got outstayed, but he's only had 4 runs. He's another Frankel. He will like fast ground. He's one of the few Frankels that they actually say loves fast ground, so he wouldn't want it to rain very much. He ran fine in the Chester Vase on his comeback. I think he's probably quite interesting, and as you said, Khalidi's probably got the second best form in the race, and Spanish Steps is an interesting horse. Beat the older horses last time. I think it's wide open. I wouldn't be backing Cracksman at even money in any stretch of imagination.
Okay, Binners, what price can we get on the horses that Tom just mentioned? Venice Beach, I think.
Venice Beach is a 6 to 1 poke.
And
Maddie.
Khalidi?
Khalidi 10 to 1 together with Douglas MacArthur.
Thank you very much. What do you reckon, Mark? Is it Cracksman, do you think? Is it as simple as he's got the form and he should win?
Yeah, it is Cracksman for me. I think recent years the class horse tends to win this race, I think, and I really like the angle because he had a busy enough early part of the season. I like the fact he's been given a break. And I think this is a really nice stepping stone for him into, if not many targets in going into the autumn, into a 4-year-old career.
I know John Gosden's very keen to have him back next year. Yeah. So. Okay, nice and simple. Yep. We'll move on to the Acomb Stakes then. James Garfield probably sets the standard there. DXB, he got some absolutely raving reviews after winning at Goodwood. Beatbox Rhythm is in there for Carl Burke, who obviously had such a fantastic weekend, winning the pre-morning and having the second as well. And also Aidan O'Brien's got Fleet Review in there, I believe. Binners, to you first with the market, please, and what do you make of this one?
Well, we've got the same money back special I just mentioned on this race as well, the Acomb, Maddie. We go 9 to 4 DXB, 11 to 4 Fleet Review, 8 to 1 James Garfield, and 4 horses on 10 to 1, so quite an open heat.
Okay, and is there anyone that you're looking at there and thinking, I think he's the one for me, or?
I quite like the look of James Garfield, Maddie. If you take away Expert Eye at Goodwood, who looks to be one of the most exciting 2-year-olds we've seen this season, there was only about 3/4 of a length between the second to fourth in that race. James Garfield got run out of third on the line, and Frankie Dettori looks a very eye-catching booking.
Okay, nicely summed up for us there. Tom, is this all a bit of a muchness for you? Were you the one who loved DXB after Goodwood?
I didn't love him.
No?
I thought he was pretty good. The time was very good. Look, people have told me he's exceptionally good, and look, I have no problem with him being a very good horse. I think there's plenty of others in there. I like Lansky myself. I think.
What can you tell us about him?
Well, he's a Dark Angel horse for Jeremy Nacida, whose 2-year-olds have gone well this season. He had the unlucky horse that was first home on its side at Royal Ascot. Can't remember the name of it.
Take Me With You?
Yeah, whatever it was.
Like that,
and
yeah.
I think this is quite a nice one. He's got a good record at York, Jeremy Nacida. He only runs his... he won Nemeralia won there last year. He's always had a good record at the track. I think he's a pretty nice horse. The issue with him is he's drawn in trap 11 on the outside, which I think could be an issue, because DXB, who I presume is going to make the runnings in trap 1. So I think they might get away with him. The other one at a big price is Richard Fahey's horse, Chief Justice, who ran behind Beatbox Rhythm at Pontefract on his debut, but he was noticeably green. He was round the outside. He started really slowly, but kept on nicely. I think he might return those placings with Beatbox Rhythm, and he could gun well. But I'm not a massive fan of DXB, but from stall 1, and if the ground's quick, I think he might be hard to get past.
Okay, Mark, you in agreement with Tom?
No, I am a big DXB fan. I'm in that fan club. I just loved him at Goodwood. Loved the way he moved, the sort of the relentless nature of his gallop. I thought was really, really taking.
He's got some. I was reading the quotes on him beforehand. He apparently is an absolute real knockout to look at.
Oh yeah, well he looked. I mean, unfortunately I wasn't there in the flesh at Goodwood, but he certainly looked the part on the television pictures. And I like some of the quotes around him. Mark Johnson at the time saying, we wouldn't have brought him here if he wasn't working very well, if we didn't think he was good, to Goodwood. And I noticed his assistant Jock Bennett was on Racing UK. I think it was yesterday. Again, just seeming really, really confident, saying, I think he's going to run very well. So I certainly hope he does. I'll probably be backing him. And I couldn't be more in his camp really.
Okay, that's nicely summed up for us there. Has anyone got any other tips for York on Wednesday, or are we all still sort of eyes focused on the big Juddmonte International? You, Mark, first?
There was a horse called Tangled who won a nursery at Newmarket recently.
Yes, yeah.
I was quite taken with, and is entered in the nursery on Wednesday. I didn't actually check before we came on, stupidly, to see if he's been declared, but if he has been declared, then he would be of interest.
Okay, Tangled for Mark. Tom, anything at all for you, or are you keeping your powder dry?
No, nothing for me at this stage, Maddie, no.
No? Okay.
No, it's too complicated looking at the other races to find these handicap winners at this stage.
We'll ask you nearer the time.